as most of you probably already know by now, Saul Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Alfredo Angulo on the 8th of March this year. The fight is a done deal. It's been signed. It's happening. Now, as we know, both guys are coming off losses. Alvarez lost a majority decision to Floyd Mayweather, and Angulo's coming off a TKO defeat to Erislandy Lara in 10 rounds. But strangely enough, apparently there are moves going on in the background to make this fight a title fight. That's right. They've said that if Floyd Mayweather decides to vacate his 154-pound title, that Canelo and Angulo could be fighting for the vacant title. I mean, and that just goes to show how farcical and ridiculous the boxing rankings really are and how meaningless these titles are. Because how the hell can two guys coming off losses fight for a vacant title? I mean, this is incredible. We've got guys out there like Erislandy Lara who are coming off good wins. We've got other fighters out there, James Kirtland. We've got, several fighters who are coming off wins. The Charlo brothers. We've got a whole heap of young talent out there who are coming off wins. But somehow, Alvarez versus Angulo could potentially be for a vacant belt. I mean, that is just ridiculous. And it just goes to show how corrupt and, pretty much fraudulent these alphabet organizations really are. Completely ridiculous. Now, I don't hate the fight itself. I will watch the fight. It could potentially be a very good fight. Angulo is definitely more stylistically suited to Canelo Alvarez. Alvarez had, Alvarez's two most difficult fights in his career was obviously the Floyd Mayweather fight where he lost clearly, and also the Austin Trout fight, which was actually a very close fight as far as I'm concerned. Me and a lot of other people actually had Trout edging that fight. Yeah, I had Trout winning the fight, and a lot of other people did too. I don't mind if you scored it for Canelo. It was one of those kind of fights that could have gone either way. So it's been proven so far that Canelo does better against stationary fighters than he does against people that are going to give him some movement, fighters that have a bit of slickness to them. Right? That's what he struggles with. And Angulo certainly ain't slick. Angulo's going to come straight forward. He's not that difficult to hit. He's just going to engage you in a slugfest. And that's going to give a guy like Alvarez, who does have good boxing skills, who does have good counter-punching ability, it's going to give him the opportunity to look good. It's going to give him the opportunity to look good. Now, the only banana skin I see here for Alvarez is if he runs out of steam. Because we know that Alvarez is not a guy who has a very high work rate. Right? He likes to pace himself. He doesn't like to throw a lot of punches. But when he does throw, he's accurate. But Angulo's a guy who'll come at you all night. And you better throw something at him to stop him, or else he's going to railroad you. He's going to steamroll you. You better throw hard. You better hit him hard enough to stop him coming at you. And that's going to be the question in this fight between Canelo and Angulo. Can Canelo get Angulo's respect? Can he keep him off him? Because he's going to need to. There could be a potential upset. And a lot of Floyd Mayweather fanatics would have you believe that Saul Canelo Alvarez was the #1 junior middleweight in the world when Floyd faced him, which is complete garbage. Saul Alvarez was a good fighter. He is a good fighter. He's a skillful fighter, but we don't know yet how good he is. The only legitimate 154-pound fighter he'd faced before he fought Mayweather was Austin Trout, and that was a very close fight against Austin Trout. And since then, Austin Trout has been beaten far more convincingly by Erislandy Lara. So, it just goes to show Canelo certainly was not the #1 154-pounder out there before he fought Mayweather. He was one of the top guys, but he wasn't the top guy. He certainly hadn't done anything to prove that he was the top guy. Erislandy Lara, so far in his career, has proved more than Canelo Alvarez. But again, we won't know how good Floyd's win over Canelo Alvarez is until a few years down the line when we see how Canelo's career pans out. If Canelo turns out to be a hype job, if he loses to Angulo, if he goes on and loses to some of the other guys at 154 or 160, then it's going to look like Floyd's win over him really wasn't that significant or that special. But if he goes on to actually be a top fighter and a very strong, dominant world champion at 154 or 160 or whatever, then it's going to look great on Floyd's CV. It's going to look great on his resume. So we don't know how good that win is for Floyd until a few years down the line when Canelo's career pans out. And we're going to know a little bit more here from this fight against Alfredo Angulo. Again, as I say, stylistically, it's a better matchup for Canelo. It's a guy that he's not going to have to go looking for. It's a guy who's going to come straight at him. He's going to give him plenty of opportunities to counter. And it'll be right in his face. So how do you guys see the fight going? Do you have Canelo as the favorite? What do you think about Canelo as a fighter? Do you think he always was a hype job all along? Or do you think he is actually pretty good and that Floyd Mayweather was just so supreme on that particular night that he made a very good fighter look very ordinary? Yeah, drop your comments below. Let me know how you feel. How do you see this fight going? Are you excited for this fight? Would you have preferred to see Canelo fight Erislandy Lara? Do you think that he's ducked Lara by taking on Angulo? Let me know in the comment section below about everything that I've covered in this video. This is Hatman. I'm out.